careful. 10 T-Rexes all in one, full of sand. I'm stuck. Help. Hi, welcome back. I'm trying something new with the background, but I think the lighting only hits me on half my face. So let me know if you like it, because this morning there was such a lovely sunshine and now it's about to rain. Of course, the beauty of Italy, the beauty of northern Italy. Summer is approaching. May is almost over. My brain cannot compute with that fact. So, to cope, since summer is my favorite season and I cannot wait for summer to actually be here because it's so fucking cold, here are some books that you may not know about that you should read this summer because they will make you incredibly sexy. Because I said so. I selected a book or a comic or a graphic novel from every genre, so there's like bread for everybody. As you say in Italy, c'è pane per tutti. But let me know if I forgot the genre and maybe if you have a recommendation in the comments. We'll start with the most difficult genre for summer, which is fantasy. For fantasy, I have in my mind something that is cozy, but it's also fun. And it has summer in the book, because if it's not at least sunny one day in the book, then it's going to be a cozy fall fantasy. I have an Italian author, but the book was translated into almost every language that there is, and it's Fairy Oak by Elisabetta Tognone. Look at my mini size. It's the size of my head. This is the ultimate cozy fantasy for every season, but especially summer. It talks about a little village in the countryside where young girls are born with some type of magic, usually a natural kind of magic, and little sprite fairies come to the village to be their nannies. So you are going to see the stories of these two twins. One has dark magic, the other one has light magic, from the perspective of their fairy nanny. And it's the ultimate cozy, wonderful book about love, about first love, about friendship, about sisterhood. And it's perfect for summer because a lot of this book takes place during really sunny days, and it's just about wonder, about the funny feeling you get in your chest when there's the first truly summery day outside, and it's perfect. So now for contemporary, I had so many books that I could choose, and I choose the most obvious ones because they're obvious. I also wanted to choose something that's easily available because I know that when it's summer, people travel. So you're basically going to be searching for books in, I don't know, train stations, airports, little local bookshops. So for young adult contemporary, could I not be more obvious? Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. Very summery. It's a graphic novel comic. It's about first queer love and queer joy. What more could you want from summer? But also, since summer engulfs Pride Month, for adult contemporary, I chose Wellness Stop. I mean, come on. These are the perfect summer book. They're light, they're fun, they deal with some serious topics, but they're just for fun. They're light read. You can pack this up in your backpack and read on the beach without a worry. And then for a genre-defying book, because it's an adult book, but it's both romance and lit fic, I chose Happy Place by Emily Harry. I have a blog for this book in which I sobbed and laughed and all the emotions in between. This was kind of the perfect book for me. I love Emily Harry. This has a dual timeline in which you see in the present there's this group of friends that every year reunites every summer at a cottage, and that cottage this year is going to get bought by another person, by an external person. So they decide one last time in this cottage this summer, and the catch is our two protagonists have broken up and told nobody in their friend group. And they're still keeping up the lie because two other people in that friend group told them that they're going to get married that summer in that cottage, and they don't want to ruin the atmosphere. And then you have the past, in which you see how they got together and why they broke up. I don't know what to tell you. The dialogue is just perfect. It's hilarious. The present timeline, it's such a silly, goofy, fun time, and then the past life is so bittersweet, and it's like the perfect summer book. Outside I see the clouds, but in my heart I have this sunny, happy book that it's not happy at all, but also kind of happy. So you are an unconventional bitch, just like I am. You love sci-fis and horror. I'm here just for you. So for horror, you need something snappy. You need something that you can put down and pick up, because horror stories in the summer are kind of an oxymoron, but they're also kind of fun. So for you, I have a book that I devoured one summer, and it's the perfect, creepy yet summery feel. Have I destroyed this book? Is the cover coming off? Possibly. It's full of sand! This is Uncle Montague's Tales of Terror by Chris Presley, but all Chris Presley books are all in the same vein. These are horror short stories. They're all kind of connected because in the beginning there's a narrator that tells you all these stories. It's kind of like a bedtime story, but it's creepy and unsettling, but also kind of like the perfect book to pick up on a beach. I devoured this on a beach. It's still full of sand. And I cannot recommend this author enough. For the sci-fi pick, this book is light. This book is almost entirely only dialogue, and I loved it. This is Kaiju Preservation Society by John Scalzi. John Scalzi is a prolific and talented scriptwriter, but also author of so many sci-fi books. I love his writing. It's an acquired taste, but this is so easy to love. This is kind of like Jurassic Park. If you could travel to an alternate universe in which there's another Earth in which it's all Jurassic Park, but with beasts that are like 10 T-Rexes all in one, and they are like nuclear reactors. But it's so cozy because it actually talks about scientists taking care of these giant monsters and only wanting the best for them and for them to not get exploited by our Earth. It's cozy, it's so fun, the banter is incredible. It talks a little bit about the pandemic, but just in the beginning, so it's not unsettling at all. And it's the perfect summary sci-fi. Now, once again for the unconventional bitch, but the emotional unconventional bitch, which is me. I am the emotional unconventional bitch. You want something long, something engaging that you can talk about with your friends because it's going to get you hooked. You and your friends both. You want a love story, but you also want a mystery, but you also want mythology. You're just like Sharpay. You want it all. I have the perfect book series for you. Have an official blessing. This is volume 1 by Emotional Tonsuo. This is a Chinese web novel that got translated into English, and next year is going to get translated into Italian. I cannot wait. This is everything, every genre, but done in such a well-crafted way that makes you feel all the emotions. Joy, wrath, you will cry. Oh, you will cry. Check the trigger warnings because some parts are kind of heavy, but the beginning, it's so fun. You have this god of misfortune that is famous for ascending into the heavens 3 times. You normally just ascend once, okay? This god of misfortune, who is the most humble and hilarious person alive, I love him so much, encounters the king of the ghosts. And this king of the ghosts has a weird fascination with him. So it's also like a queer story. And you unravel their past and how they are connected. And it's also a mystery, kind of a thrillery mystery. And you encounter so many wonderful characters. One of my favorites is the god or goddess of the wind that prefers her female form, but you know, my love for the series is never ending, and you should read it too, to be cool. What about the comic? I hear you say. What about the mangas? I hear you say. The wait is over. I have them. I have them. You want something queer. You want something that it's a light urban fantasy. You want something sapphic and wonderful. I hear you. May I present you Beetle and the Hollow Bones? This is a wonderful story about first love and saving a tiny little ghost who is linked to a shopping mall that they want to, you know, erase and build something else. It's the classic story, but the protagonist is a goblin that cannot do magic, and her love interest is a skull girl. She's made of bones and is so talented at magic, and it's so wonderful. I picked it up on a whim because the drawings, I mean, they're done in these wonderful muted tones. But you know those cheesy movies in which you have to save like your farm, your shopping mall, that house, that shop. It's this story, but it's better because one, it's sapphic. Two, the protagonist is a goblin, like a little gremlin. I love her so much. I love this story so much. It's by Elisa Lane. Go pick it up. And now, for the mangas. This is the last recommendation that I'm going to give you, and it's the most important one because this is the manga that raised me. I read it in French when I was such a little young girl. I did not know French. I started to learn French for this manga because there was no translation in Italian, okay? And the English translation was hard to come by back in my days. This is the perfect summary manga. If you love manga, maybe you've heard of this series because there's also an anime, but the anime stops halfway through the story. You have to read it. It's called Alice Academy. My name is Alice. Alice Academy, or Gakuen Alice. In this world, there are some kids, a little percentage of the world's population that is born with powers, but like strange and wonderful powers and also dangerous one. And the protagonist's best friend discovers that she has an Alice, so a power. So she has to go to this school that is really far away, and the protagonist cannot live without her. The friendship is just mwah. So she sneaks into the school and discovers that she too has an Alice. She can erase all the other Alices around her. And it's about her figuring it out in this school when she is not book smart, she's not street smart, she's just kind and kind of clumsy, and she really loves her friends. And there's also this super cute love story between her and a kid that has a very traumatic past, and it's hilarious. This is a very comical manga, but there's also like some serious topics like sprinkled through. When I tell you that this raised me, you hear all those people that watch like Vampire Night, that was also me, or Black Butler, that was also me, and they're like traumatized for life. I read this. I was not traumatized for life. I was just really obsessed. Here we are. That was quick, wasn't it? I did not find something like cop stories or like thrillers, because I feel like those are the genres that are like in tradition with summer. They're like the opposite. But I know a lot of people that like read cozy thrillers in the summer. I've never read one, so I cannot recommend it to you. Let me know in the comments if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one, which will be me attending the largest book fest in Italy, the Salone del Libro di Torino. So if you want to connect with me, I have some socials down below, especially on TikTok. I'm always active there, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, goodbye. I cannot wait for summer.